All right, let's talk about a technology that didn't just tweak how software is made, it completely rewrote the rules. We're going to dive into a tool that set out to solve one of the oldest, most frustrating problems in all of programming. You're going to see why it was such a big deal. Ah, yes, this sentence. If you've ever worked in tech, you've heard this, you've said this, you've probably screamed this. It's that moment of pure agony when your code, which was running perfectly on your laptop, just breaks the second it goes live for actual users. It's a nightmare that has wasted so much time and money over the years. But what if you could change the game? What if, instead of just sending your code out there and hoping for the best, you could package it up with everything it needs? I'm talking the right libraries, the right settings, the whole environment, and just ship that entire package as one unit. See, that's the real villain of the story. Inconsistent environments. A developer's laptop is just a totally different universe from a production server in the cloud. You've got different operating systems, different software versions, different configurations. Every single one of those tiny little differences is a potential landmine, just waiting to blow up your application. And that's where the hero of our story comes in, the container. The best way to think about it is like a magic, standardized box. You take your app, you put it inside the box, then you add every single thing it needs to run, every library, every file, everything. You seal it up, and now that box, it will run exactly the same no matter where you send it. And let's be super clear here. A container isn't just your code in a folder. It's a totally self-sufficient little world. It has the code, sure, but it also has the runtime, like the specific version of Java or Python it needs. It has all the system libraries. It has all the configuration. It is literally the entire package, primed and ready to go. Now, you might be thinking, hang on, isn't that just a virtual machine? And that's a great question, but the difference is absolutely huge. A virtual machine, or VM, has to pretend to be an entire computer. It virtualizes the hardware. That means every single VM needs its own full-blown operating system, which makes them gigantic. We're talking gigabytes, and super slow to boot up. Containers, they're way smarter. They virtualize the operating system. This means a bunch of containers can share the same host OS, which makes them incredibly lightweight. Think megabytes, not gigabytes. And they can spin up in seconds. Now, the idea of containers wasn't brand new. It had been floating around for a while, but it was really clunky and complicated. You had to be a real expert to use it. And then Docker came along. Docker was the platform that took this amazingly powerful concept and made it simple, standard, and easy enough for every single developer to use. So, what is Docker really? It's the toolkit that made containers a reality for the rest of us. It gave developers a super simple, friendly, and standardized way to build, run, and manage these containers. It took a niche, complex technology and turned it into the foundation of how we build software today. Okay, so how does this magic actually happen? How do you get from your lines of code to one of these self-contained running Baxes? Well, the process is actually pretty elegant, and more importantly, it's repeatable every single time. Let's just walk through the workflow. It all kicks off with a simple text file called a Dockerfile. Seriously, just a text file. Think of it like a recipe. You write down all the instructions for building your app's environment. Then you run one command, docker build, and Docker reads your recipe and creates something called an image. That image gets stored in a central library, kind of like an app store, called a registry. And from there, any server, anywhere in the world, can pull down that exact image and run it as a container. And this brings us to a really important distinction. First, you have the Docker image. An image is the blueprint. It's the recipe. It's a read-only, unchanging template that has everything your app needs, all bundled up and frozen in time. If you're a programmer, it's just like a class in object-oriented programming. It's the definition, but it's not actually doing anything yet. And if the image is the class, then the Docker container, that's the object. The container is the live, running instance that you create from the image. It's the blueprint brought to life. You can take that one single image and launch 1, 10, or 1,000 identical containers from it. The image is the blueprint, the container is the running application. That difference is key. Because this whole process is so clean and so repeatable, Docker basically became the engine for modern software development. It's the core of a practice we call DevOps, which is all about breaking down the walls between the people who write the code and the people who run the code. And for development teams, Docker brings some serious superpowers to the table. First, you get perfect consistency. That works on my machine problem? Gone. A new developer can join a team and get a super complex project running on their laptop in minutes, not days. It's also perfect for breaking down big applications into smaller microservices, since each one can live happily in its own isolated container. And because those images never change, deployments are way more reliable. If a new version has a bug, no problem. You just roll back by running the container from the previous image. Easy. At the end of the day, Docker is the bridge. It connects the world of development with the world of operations. For the first time, both teams are looking at, talking about, and working with the exact same thing, the Docker image. All those old arguments about whose fault it is when something breaks, they just kind of disappear. And this brings us right back to where we started. In today's automated systems, you might hear them called CI/CD pipelines. A developer's code is automatically built into a Docker image. That exact same image is then put through all the automated tests, and if it passes everything, that very same, completely unchanged image is what gets deployed to production for real users. The environment is identical, from the first line of code to the final release. The works on my machine problem is at long last truly solved. So what does this containerized world look like? Well, our applications are now truly portable. They run the same on a laptop, a test server, or in the cloud. They're incredibly lightweight and fast. They're securely isolated from each other, so one app can't mess up another. And most important of all, they're reproducible. Every single build is perfectly consistent every single time. By putting software into a standard box, Docker didn't just fix an old annoyance. It completely unlocked a new way of building things. It became the engine for the entire cloud-native revolution, powering the massive systems and complex ops that run our digital world. It laid a whole new foundation for the industry. And it leaves us with just one question. Now that we have this incredible power, what will we build with it next?